The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Well, I think we can safely say that you can get out there and do your yard work, and whether you're...
I don't have any yard work, Tom.
Well, no, and not that you did yard work when you had yard work to do.
I have people, Tom.
Most people can get out there and do their yard work now, and they can listen to the show.
Well,
so,
you like doing stuff like that.
I do. I mean, it's part of my workout regimen.
Right. I mean,
yes.
you like it. Well, you fix things.
And I like the satisfaction of sitting back and saying, I worked on my land, and I like to see a cause and an effect, and it's fun.
Yeah, when we had the house, planting flowers was a lot of work, but it was kind of, sit back and we put a little walk in with steps and things, little breaks by hand. It was kind of
going to be an interesting couple of segments here. We're going to talk with Bikash Regmi. He is the president and CEO of Caring Family Health. How bad did I say your name? Am I close?
You did it very well.
Oh, good. I like to hear that. Yeah. That's nice. You are a family nurse practitioner, and you're board certified, and then you have this business. How long have you been here in the United States?
So I came to U.S. in 2009, so we have to do the math here.
Yeah, right. I'm terrible with math. You're more the science guy.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a while.
19 years?
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom wouldn't have never. I forget. So.
No, I already tuned out. I was fine.
I knew it. I always knew the number, but I was just throwing you.
And where did you come from? Where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Bhutan, but we have been kicked out from the country. And
what'd you do wrong?
I didn't do wrong. No, I know.
Tom got kicked out of North Syracuse.
So yes. There was a political conflict between different ethnic group in Bhutan.
Really?
Yes.
And where is that exactly?
It is in between India and China.
Oh, gotcha.
Very small country. Not many people had heard about it.
So would you consider yourself Asian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. I get you. I'm not a world traveler.
No, Tom doesn't get out
much.
much.
Enough. But okay. And so you came here. Mm-hmm. And is it here that you got your education?
Yes, I got my family nurse practitioner degree here at Utica, New York, from SUNY Poly.
Gotcha. Did you have any family here in the States to come over to, or?
So I had an aunt who came long before.
Gotcha.
But she was in New York City, and she suggested to come to Syracuse rather than New York City in the beginning. It could be more challenging.
So she's the one that led you this direction?
No, she kind of guided, New York City might not be the best choice for the beginning because of the expense, those kind of things.
And it's just so big.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you pick Syracuse?
So New York, then kind of narrowed down to Syracuse.
Okay, so you shopped, you said, where are we going to go? Okay, New York City, too big, too crowded. Look upstate, and you looked and you saw Orange and said, I'm going there.
Not quite exactly, because when I was back in refugee camp, I did not have this much knowledge about upstate, Syracuse, New York. I guess we have been picked by someone. Yeah. But I'm happy.
Back where you were born and raised, was that more rural, or were you in a city, a modern city?
So it's kind of mix of both, depending on where you live, but it's kind of rural where I was.
Yeah. So this would be a good choice where you're not in a huge city, but so
you were in rural. Let's back up to the refugee camp. Mm-hmm. How long were you there?
So I was there for 17 years.
Goodness.
From the age of what to what?
From 2000, I will be more specific. 1992 to 2009.
You were in a refugee camp.
Yes.
What does one do in a refugee camp?
I was just going to ask that. What did you do?
So refugee camp, it's a very difficult life. I don't know if you had a chance to visit or have seen a picture.
I don't want to go to a refugee camp.
At least, I know, So it's a very crowded environment where people are forced to live their life with no choice and being no citizenship. There was no proper nutrition, no proper shelter, no good education. So we are basically living a life there so we can sustain.
Right. Wow. Yeah. You can't progress.
No,
you're just sustaining
so
and trying to stay alive.
So how did you
become so brilliant?
Yeah.
How did you become so brilliant?
So what happened means there was a lot of bilateral talk between Bhutan and Nepal so that we can go back to Bhutan and nothing get materialized. Mm-hmm. So despite the bilateral talk, so in 2008, the United Nations, United States, and other countries like Denmark, New Zealand came with the idea of like third country resettlement.
Okay.
And we had the option to go to the different countries, so we chose U.S. to come.
Very good.
Well, and we is your wife and you?
Yeah, me, my wife, my parents.
Okay, so you were all in the refugee camp?
Yes.
Good golly.
Oh my gosh.
So at that point, did you know how to speak English?
A little bit, yes.
Just a little bit,
yes.
Okay. But then you came over here, refined that.
Yes.
So get this, people complain, and my
Keep
son
going there,
who's
Tom.
going
going
to college
go
and
there.
everything.
Yeah.
And, he had to learn the language, then think of a career, and then get educated. And now you're in a career that, well, quite frankly, you have to be pretty intelligent to
That's why we're not in it.
Yeah, yeah. You're not just a marketing person. You're
marketing. People don't know what to do at school.
You're
I
messing
went
with
into marketing,
people's lives. Yeah, that's a pretty
So
incredible.
when did you
God
choose to
bless
be
you.
a physician, or was your schooling
nurse
before
practitioner.
that?
So when I was in the refugee camp, I saw the dire need, like people were dying just because there was no proper sanitation and even like good hand washing technique, because there was water, there was no soap, or there was soap, there was no water. You know what I mean?
Goodness.
So that kind of thing, I have seen like a lot of death and dying, which kind of always thought I wish I could do something, and I always made that dream of going to the healthcare one day and helping the people who are in need. So that with that kind of aim and hope, and I always bring my father here because we were a happy middle class family in Bhutan. Mm-hmm. We have been kicked out. We left our home. We left our citizenship was revoked. We had like animals. Everything was left. But my father always tells me and told me, and I'm pretty sure you will keep telling, and I'm doing the same thing to my kids too. Like education is only the thing that he was able to bring from Bhutan to Nepal to US.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
That is amazing.
And so you decided to be a nurse practitioner. Explain to people what a nurse practitioner is in contrast to an RN and a physician.
Okay. So to be a nurse practitioner, you need to be a registered nurse. So I just want to be clear. So in the US, we has like a prescriptive authority. It's mostly MD, like a physician,
yes,
nurse practitioner, and physician assistant. So nurse practitioner has to have RN to become a nurse practitioner, and we follow nursing model, and we are able to prescribe, treat, order diagnostic test, those kind of things.
Gotcha.
And physician assistant would do the same thing. They follow different model.
Just a different model, okay.
But they are also able to prescribe, diagnose, and treat. And physician, they have more education than us, and they are able to do like prescribe everything what we can do. Yes.
We're going to hold you over and talk to you a little bit more. You got a couple of minutes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.